People think fighting is just about throwing punches. But the longer I do this, the more I realize is fighting is life in its rawest form. I've had days where I felt unstoppable and days where I get humbled. And every time I walked away with the lesson, not just about fighting, but who I was as a man. So today, I want to share 5 lessons that fighting has taught me. Lesson number 1, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back to your training. I'm going to give you a quick example where I was debuting in kickboxing and I was cocky, quite frankly. I was a jiu-jitsu guy. I've been training jiu-jitsu for 5 years. I've got my blue belt. And I thought kickboxing would be extremely easy. I thought, it's just like MMA. And I didn't train seriously for that fight. And my opponent was. He was doing the work. He was putting in the effort. And come to round 2, end of round 2, I'm hanging off the ropes. I can't hold myself together. But yet, you look at the other side of the corner, my opponent's not even breathing hardly at all. And it just shows that life will test you. It will throw an opponent in your way who's more prepared. And you're going to rise. You're going to fall down to your training, essentially. If you didn't train for that, you're not going to be able to show up. Now, biblical. Luke chapter 6, verse 48. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. When a flood arose, the stream broke against that house, but could not shake it, because it had been well built. Your foundation, as an example, your discipline, is your training, your discipline, and your habits. If they're weak, you'll collapse under pressure. Lesson number 2. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And this is true. And it's true in life as well. The moment you get hit, 2 things happen. You panic and break, or you adjust and you stay calm and fight back. Give you an example. After my first kickboxing fight, I went back to the drawing board. I reflected and I realized I need to turn this shit up. I need to train harder and better. And then I did that. And I went out there, fought another opponent, really good opponent, but I smashed him. So you can either take that loss and let it mess you up, or you can bounce back from that. Now, applying that to life will hit you unexpectedly. Loss, failure, rejection, it's coming whether you're ready or not. How you react determines everything. James chapter 1, verse 2-4. Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Lesson number 3. Pain is a better teacher than comfort. There was a study done on mice, and they starved the mice, and they whiffed the smell of cheese in front of it. The mice is essentially a prisoner. And it would run towards the cheese. You would think as fast as it could. But now, you whiff the scent of cheese and the smell of a cat as well, it runs faster. For some weird reason, the added threat of danger and pain made it run faster. Romans chapter 5, verses 3 to 4. Suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character. And character produces hopes. The hard things in life are shaping you for something bigger. Lesson number 4. You can't fake it in the cage. Like I said before, I was unprepared, I was cocky, I was arrogant, and I was a phony, essentially. I was faking it. And I thought that it was easy. It wasn't easy. I was skipping training, I was cheating my workouts, I was slacking off, and I got exposed. Point blank. And now when it comes to tying that into a life lesson, you can't fake work ethic. Whether it's fighting, business, personal relationships, or personal growth, the results don't lie. Your inputs is what changes your future. If you're not putting in the work, how are you going to expect the result? You know, they say in Proverbs that a man reaps what he sows. If you plant the seeds, you get the harvest. If you don't plant the seeds, you don't get a harvest. That's not how it works. God's not just going to magically give you all this wheat when you didn't plant anything. If you plant heaps of stuff, heaps of seeds, wheat, sprouts, carrots, lettuce, you're going to get that in return. But if you don't, you're not going to get anything. Galatians 6, verse 7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For what one sows, that will he also reap. Sorry, Galatians, not proverb. It should be a proverb though. If you're putting in weak effort, don't expect strong results. Final lesson today, lesson number 5. Fighting forces you to conquer your ego. There are so many people that walk into the gym that, quite frankly, they have the biggest ego. I've been one of them. Ego is your worst enemy, and it takes a lot to work through it. It makes you overestimate yourself, avoid challenges that could expose your weaknesses, makes you blame other people instead of improving yourself. All recipes for disaster. You've seen those videos on YouTube and Instagram where those bodybuilders come into jiu-jitsu gyms and the women purple belt are submitting them within 10 seconds. It happens all the time, every single day. And those people were so wrapped up in their own image that they refused to see the bigger picture and that, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Instead of being this ego-driven maniac, humble myself to a wipeout level and ask the teacher, how can I learn? What can I do to get good at this sport? Instead of being, oh yeah, bro, I see red and their body's at the floor. It's not how it works. And that's not how life works either. Proverbs chapter 16, verses 18. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you stop growing. Closing statement. Fighting isn't just about combat. It's about mastering yourself. Life's a fight. Put simply, you'll get hit, suffer setbacks, and doubt yourself, but keep moving forward. You might, your car might break down, or you lose your job at work, or someone says something to you that really offends you, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Move on. Every single time, get back off your feet, move on, move upwards.